Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of everything to do with Disney travel in style. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Bella Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bella Braddock. And today, what to pack and wear this June in Walt Disney World, as well as putting ChatGPT to the test to see if they can nail it on the head.
Yeah, we put ChatGPT to the test one more time this week, as if you didn't listen to last week's, have some fun with that. But as we do at the end of every month, we look forward to the upcoming month, in this case, June 2024. What is the long-term forecast? And so what should you pack for that? So I'm going to start by saying things are really heating up in June. I mean, they normally do in Orlando and Walt Disney World, but June 2024 is looking like it's going to be pretty hot. The long-term forecast for June calls for daytime highs from 88 to 102 degrees on one day, and nighttime lows 73 to 81. So with temperatures like this, it's safe to say summer has arrived.
Yes, and if you are one of the lucky states like Florida, your school is off now or off very soon. So it is finally time to relax and start to enjoy your summer vibe.
Yeah, and another thing I'd like to talk about just before we get into specifics is thankfully right now, it does not look like there's any unusual weather patterns that would bring unusual amounts of rain. And I say it that way because there are some usual expectations with Florida weather, specifically in Orlando.
Yeah, I think June, maybe a bit of July, you might be okay, but late July, August, you have to expect a fair bit of rain to occur.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, it's looking, always account for rain, but don't expect, it's still early for hurricane season and tropical storms and stuff like that, knock on wood, so you might be okay there.
I think June is actually optimal weather, at least in Orlando. I think it gives you the nicest temperatures without dealing with a lot of the other effects of the weather. So it gives you a lot of options and opportunities to wear some of those cute summer pieces, which we will get into.
Yes, and before we get into that, I just want to make a point that we always make with these monthly packing shows. The day before you leave, or 2 days, but I like to do it the day before you leave, check the local weather forecast for Orlando.
You like to do it the 14 days before you leave.
I know, but I mean, it's really the most accurate. Florida weather changes, instantly, but it's really, you're going to get the best sort of view for your week about, as close as you can before you go.
In our house, it's always kind of like the changing weather. We know the whole weather pattern because 14 days out, it's like, oh no, it's going to rain. 13 is like, oh, never mind. Wait, no, the rain's back. Okay, well, today, it's a high of this. Oh, but now it's a high of this. So we get the full range.
And, even when you're there, it changes. But what
Honestly, that's true.
Yeah, but what I'm really looking for, as I sort of was talking about earlier, are those larger weather patterns. So these pop-up thunderstorms that come with the heat and humidity in Florida, I mean, anywhere, but Florida in particular, those are hard to avoid, especially as it gets into the even worse, like Amelia said earlier, in July and August. But it's this sort of larger offshore, if there's a huge rainstorm brewing that is going to hit you for sure, that's what you want to know, really, not these 30% chance of an afternoon storm. We can deal with those things, right? It's the big ones that wash you out that you want to know about. All right, let's talk about what to wear. Humidity's building. So what are we recommending to pack?
I think there's a lot of things that change with the humidity because it's not necessarily the heat that is the problem. So the type of clothing you want to wear changes because the air just tends to get stickier, not necessarily warmer. So for me, I like to wear a lot more skirts, dresses when it's humid because it's a lot more flowy. So it tends to stick less. It gives that a lot of room. A lot of lighter weight, more breathable, movable t-shirts and tank tops are definitely a good thing. As we get deeper into summer, a lot of the time I know people ditch t-shirts entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I always wear them, but as we talked about on our when we were talking about the different kinds of t-shirt qualities, the Guild Hands, the Bell and Canvas and sort of thing, the lighter ones, for example, that Bell and Canvas 3001, those are the kind of t-shirts you might want in the summer because they are very light compared to some of the other more heavyweight, sturdier types of t-shirts. But really, yeah, for a guy, I think it's, t-shirts or collared shirts with short sleeves. They're pretty light and flowy. Also come in different material weights. So you want something light if that's your preference. And then sweat wicking shorts. Not sweat wicking, sorry, those waterproof, very light, quick dry shorts. Those are the ones personally I like to wear.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity. A lot more brands now are making the quick dry shorts. So there's something from every price point. So I definitely recommend picking something that's reminiscent of that up, even if you have to like walk around in those almost bathing suit shorts if you know it's going to rain.
Yeah, and it's not even the quick dry, although that's good. It's the fact that those quick dry shorts are also very light, right? They're like super light material.
No,
they're
it's definitely
they're
the
not like
quick
track
dry.
pants.
No, they're not.
That kind of cotton. The other thing I want to bring up, and it's going to come into our later shows, but if you get the sort of thigh rub, there's a couple of things you want to start considering. The Gold Bond powder, is great. And also, if it's really bad days like that, and certain shorts that have seams can sort of cause rubbing. So those long, like bicycle short types of underwear or just bicycle shorts under the shorts are always a good thing for long, sweaty park days.
I always have the bicycle shorts under skirts and anything like that because I can't stand the rubbing.
Yeah, so that's a good tip just to bear that in mind if, that ever is going to bother you in those hot days when you're walking parks.
I don't care how thin your legs are. When it's 120 degrees, if you have nothing there, it's going to get annoying.
And then, of course, you're going to want to consider whether you like hats and sunglasses and those sorts of things. They're always good for the hot weather. So really, from this point forward, we're going to have some other tips as we get later in our future episodes for July and August. But for June, I personally would not bring any jackets, sweaters, long pants, anything, personally.
So what you're saying is that you disagree with ChatGPT.
Well, let's move into ChatGPT. So we asked ChatGPT for a packing list for summer in Walt Disney World. And let's hear what ChatGPT said as its intro.
Yes, so ChatGPT says, packing for a Walt Disney World vacation in the summer requires planning for hot, humid weather and the possibility of rain. Here are specific clothing items recommended for men, women, and children.
Yeah, we asked them to break it down. Now, I will say they said almost the same thing, which is fair for all three categories. But if you check our show notes and blog post, we highlighted with a little asterisk what was different, what they specifically said. So
I just want to laugh at one of the most minor differences between men and women.
All right. So first I'm going to say for men. So for men, they said t-shirts and tank tops, lightweight breathable fabrics, like we said, light cotton or moisture wicking, shorts, swimwear, a light jacket or sweatshirt. I disagree with that. They're saying for air conditioning, you're going to want that. I say you're going to want the AC. Comfortable shoes, yep, hat or cap, sunglasses, and a rain poncho. As we've discussed in the past, we don't like them, but if you do, can't hurt.
Then for women, they said t-shirts, tank tops, and blouses, again, breathable, lightweight fabrics. They said shorts, skirts, and dresses, definitely a must in this type of weather. Even if you're a guy, the bigger the short, the better, in my opinion. Comfortable and cool sundresses are a great option, they said. Leggings or capris, lightweight for added comfort. Swimwear, parks, hotel pools, everything. Light jacket or cardigan, they differentiated for some reason. Comfortable shoes, hat or sun hat, sunglasses, and a rain poncho, which in the humidity might not be the best option.
Yeah, so the big differences there, of course, were when they talked about sundresses and capris and leggings for women. I mean, I know there are guys.
Why
leggings,
they felt
but
the need to mention capris?
I know. Well, it's ChatGPT, right? It's scraping the web.
Okay.
And then for children, again, same categories, except they did say, it's funny, under shorts, comfortable and suitable for play, as opposed to, I don't know, uncomfortable
Thanks,
shorts.
ChatGPT.
And they also said dresses for girls, lightweight and easy to move in. So, I have to say, though, it's pretty good advice. So, again, with our last one, if you really know nothing about Walt Disney World,
basic advice.
Yeah, but if you just don't know and you think you might miss something, ChatGPT, I mean, it's not like asking ChatGPT to plan your park day is different. And a lot of people have put that to the test. But really, when it comes to packing and these sorts of recommendations, they're pretty good.
I think, watch a couple videos, consult ChatGPT. You'll have a pretty good idea of everything you need to bring. I think in the June weather, a jacket, We'll see. Ponchos.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I say this is the last month you can get away with ponchos if you absolutely want to have them. In July and August, they are just a nightmare and they're so much more uncomfortable than just the water. Like, unless you're going to turn into a mermaid at the touch, don't bother.
And then ChatGPT also threw in some general tips that we've talked about in this show and other shows. Sunscreen, water bottles, which I don't agree with, backpack, all these things it talked about before, backpacks, breathable clothing, yes, and extra clothes. So consider packing an extra set of clothes in case of spills or unexpected rain. Well, hopefully you're not just packing one set of clothes for the week.
I think ChatGPT is like me in grade 3, or that's who it thinks is going to the parks. I really don't think you need an extra change of clothes in your park bag unless you're a mom who's feeding and your baby's going to spit up. That's different unless you have little kids that are prone to that type of thing. But as a general rule, don't think it's super necessary.
Yeah, because you're going to have extra clothes back in the room.
If it's that bad, there's back in the room. It's unlikely to the point where I say the off chance it happens, like just buy a new t-shirt. There are cheaper options.
So there you have it. If you are traveling in June and June 2024 specifically, it's going to be hot. It's going to be quite nice. Yes, there will be some rain, but I think you're in for a good month. So pack for heat. Just that is your basic rule. Pack for heat. I mean, Florida's not the only hot place on earth, so I'm sure wherever you live, it gets hot too. So pack for heat, and you should be
I don't think pack for heat. I think pack for humidity.
Well, both. Humidity is going to get worse, and we're going to talk about that in future shows, but definitely for June. Yeah, I mean, pack for humidity too, but definitely...
Yeah, be sure to bring your anti-humidity hairspray.
Don't think you might need some cold weather safety stuff is what I'm getting at. You will not. Not this June especially.
Yeah, definitely not. Unless you're planning on taking very long trips on the Disney buses, I think you're good. But honestly, for me, the humidity is the biggest thing. So look up how to combat that. If you have hair care, skincare, whatever that you need to do to fight the humidity, bring that. Because if you're on a plane, the second you step off the plane, you can feel it. I feel my hair just poof out.
All right, everyone. Thank you, as always, for listening. If you're going in June, have a great time. We'll see you again next week. Follow along on social media at 1923 Main Street and have a magical day.
Bye-bye.